just read out my statement. The Penang State Government's priority is to avoid any water rationing, where efficient and effective water supply and water demand management is essential. Now, you want to avoid water rationing, you got to do two things right. Water supply management and water demand management. There's a difference between water supply management and water demand management. Even though it's all about management, but one is about water supply, how much can you get water, and one is about water demand, how much you use water. If you want to talk about proper water management, you must do both rights. Water supply management right and water demand management right. You cannot do only one right, because then you will not succeed. For the last 6 years, focus has been on water supply management to meet not only increasing demands from Penang's growing population, but also accelerated development and investment projects. Now, this is proven by Penang's NRW of 17.6%, the lowest in the country as compared to national average of 36.4%. That means if you want to ask for proof to show that PBAPP over the last years have done effective and efficient water supply management, look at the NRW. NRW is the lowest, 17.6%. There is no doubt that the pace of development in Penang over the last 6 years is more than the previous 18 years. Penang has a location of choice for investment is demonstrated by being the top FDI recipient in Malaysia for the period of 2010 to August 2013 of 19.7 billion ringgit, or nearly 20% of Malaysia's total FDI of 103 billion ringgit. Previously, Penang was never the top investment state in Malaysia, where we achieved that distinction twice in 2010 and 2011. Now, because of that, you will agree that any water rationing would be disastrous, not only for residents, but also for the business community. Whilst efficient and effective water supply management has been effective in meeting the growing water needs from 865 million litres per day in 2007 to 1,035 million litres per day, or more than 1 billion litres now every day. We produce more than 1 billion litres of water every day. Every day, setiap hari. 1,035 million litres of water. As at March 2014, there must also be effective and efficient water demand management. Why? Because there can only be so much water sources. We got no more other water sources. There can only be so much water sources. Water demand management depends on pricing. So that's why we got to focus on water demand management. And water demand management depends on pricing, water saving features, and education. The Penang State Government had earlier opted not to increase pricing, even though the last time there was a hike in domestic tariffs was in 1991. 1993, sorry. There's a mistake there. Can it change to 1993? Please make the correction. 1993. Domestic tariff was 1993. That means 31 years ago. 21 years ago, sorry. 21 years ago. However, the failure of education programs and water conservation surcharge, which penalizes those who waste water, had resulted in Penang recording the highest consumption of 311 litres per capita per day, which is 50% more than the national average of 212. Such high water consumption is just not sustainable, and if left unchecked, will leave Penang no choice but to do water rationing in future. Climate change may result in a prolonged drought this year. Worse, this drought may recur annually for an extended period for 5 years, as had happened in Australia. You must remember that the prospect for a drought is very real, with the ASEAN Specialized Meteorological Center in Singapore predicting lower rainfall in April to May and a dry spell between June and October this year. Where's the paper? Let us not forget that it is not only Selangor and Johor that are carrying out water rationing. Even the wettest town in Peninsular Malaysia, Taiping, has started water rationing today. The people of Penang has no choice but to reduce water consumption. If higher water tariffs is necessary to reduce water consumption to avoid water rationing, then the state government will bite the bullet and raise water tariffs. The Penang state government stresses that even after we raise water tariffs, Penang will still enjoy the lowest water tariffs in Malaysia. The Penang Water Supply Corporation, or PBAPP, has subsidized nearly 70 million ringgit last year to maintain the domestic tariffs to be the lowest in the country at 31 cents for the first 35,000 litres per month. This 31 cents is more than half the national average of 66 cents, with the most expensive water being Johor at 1 ringgit 5 cents. The Penang state government is compelled to take this step of increasing water tariffs for the future of our children by forcing consumers to cut down on water consumption so that our future generations will have a higher chance of avoiding water rationing. I think you look at the paper in the Star today, the prospect, and this one you're reporting the ASEAN Meteorological Center, ASEAN Specialized Meteorological Center. Here it says 2 months of rain, but these 2 months also lower rainfall. And then after that, the next 5 months, a dry spell. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? The next months will be dry spell. So here, in the front page of the Star, it says, what says spring rain will go away. But 2 months, these 2 months where we hope to have rain, it is expected to have lower rainfall than last year. And after that, 5 months, no rain. So, we have to look at the future. If this drought does continue, we don't know. And then if it's repeated against next year and the following years, will we be forced to do water rationing? So we got to think of all steps and measures. It's just not only water supply management, which we have done and shown to be the best in the country, but also water demand management, which we have shown to be the worst in the country. Water supply management, we are the best. Water demand management, we are the worst. Why? Because our water rates is too low. Before that we said, never mind, let's try to educate the public. Doesn't work. Let's try to impose penalties on those who waste water. Doesn't work. So I think because of the situation of drought that we face now, we have to increase domestic tariffs. But even though we increase, it is still the lowest in the country after we increase. So you can see how low this is for Penang compared to Johor, 1 ringgit and 5 cents. And yet, there is rationing, there is water rationing in Johor. So, let us take the responsible step. When we have no choice, if we want to have a chance to avoid water rationing, we must cut down on water consumption, save water, and if increasing domestic tariffs will help to cut down water consumption, help to save water, the state government will do it. We will bite the bullet and we will do it. Because I think Penang cannot have water rationing. This is not now. Maybe now it is not a risk and a danger. But what about the following years? Because we look at the climate, with climate change, it looks like this drought may not only be a long drought, it may repeat and recur again the following years. Any questions?
So in the just mentioning domestic tariffs. How about for those businesses, tariff for businesses?
No, you also increase. It's to be fair. We also have increased the domestic tariff. We are talking about domestic, it's not increased. Costa.
Costa.
Police.
Yes, of course.
But no, this one is because of the weather. I think this one, they put the graphic is very clear. This is the threat that we face. No rain, how? We are looking at water supply management. Even the minister also mentioned that we have used too much water. Can I refer to the statement, to the letter made by Dr. Maximus of Kili? Refer to the letter made by Maximus of Kili. Here, paragraph number 4, page 2. Paragraph 4, page 2. Maximus of Kili punya surat kepada saya. Saya baca. Di samping pelaksanaan projek pembesaran empangan mengkuang tersebut, saya berpandangan bahawa program pengurusan permintaan air water demand management yang komprehensif juga perlu diberi tumpuan oleh pihak yang amat berhormat tuan sebagai usaha untuk memastikan penggunaan bekalan air mentah yang berhemah di negeri Pulau Pinang. Cadangan ini berasaskan bahawa penggunaan air per kapita bagi negeri Pulau Pinang adalah yang tertinggi di negara ini, iaitu sebanyak 285 liter per kapita sehari berbanding dengan purata nasional sebanyak 210. Kalau dia tulis surat kali ini, dia akan cakap, tengok, sekarang sudah naik kepada 311. Kalau beliau tulis surat hari ini, penggunaan air per kapita yang tinggi ini mendorong kepada pengakrakan yang bermakna pengambilan air mentah yang berlebihan untuk dirawat oleh operator air. I think this is very, very revealing. So for that reason, it is now being used against the state government that we use too much water. And that is why it is going to affect our water supply. Because you look at that following paragraph 5. Justru dalam konteks ini, saya turut berpendapat bahawa pendekatan untuk meningkatkan usaha bagi mengawal penggunaan air per kapita pada tahap yang munasabah serta mengoptimalkan penggunaan air empangan mengkuat kelak merupakan langkah yang terbaik yang perlu diambil oleh kerajaan negeri Pulau Pinang dan operator bekalan negeri buat masa ini. Jika penggunaan air per kapita domestik bagi negeri Pulau Pinang dikawal sekurang-kurangnya pada paras 250 liter per kapita sehari bagi kawasan bandar dan 240 bagi kawasan luar bandar, saya yakin bekalan air mentah sedia ada dijangka mencukupi hingga tahun 2030. So now it's not only water supply management, it is water demand management. And that's why we have to take that step. Because we have tried other steps, it doesn't work. We have to take that step of water demand management. And even as I said, after increasing the tariffs, we will still be the lowest in the country. Any questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know the rationale to increase the tariff?
Yeah, but there are some people who don't know. That's why I got to explain that.
Okay.
I hope you bear with me, because smart people like you understand. Those who refuse to understand.
But just because if you do it in this year, we can see that making a promise that this year the state government won't increase any.
No, we actually, if not for this water shortage crisis, we would not have done so. But now you see the water shortage. What actually struck me was when Taiping imposed water rationing. You look at Selangor, you know how the people in Selangor are complaining. When I meet people at Selangor, they tell me, I cannot go back home, no water. This is crazy. I stay in the office. This is crazy, he says. So you just imagine how difficult if there is water rationing. So when I see this happening in Selangor, I see this in Johor. We got the questions from PBAPP, which said, never mind lah. This one is only Selangor and Johor. But when it happened in Taiping, PBA request again is struck home. When they make the request, when Taiping impose water rationing, this is serious. You know how much water is there in Taiping? Have you all been to Taiping? You know they bet how much rain every day in Taiping. You know that, no? In a market, in Taiping market, they bet how much rain will fall on every day. You can place your bet there. That shows how much rainwater there is in Taiping. It rains almost every day. Almost every day it rains. Have you all been to Taiping? It rains almost every day. Have you all been to? Who has been to Taiping? Please put up your hand. Who has been to Taiping? It rains, isn't it? My God, it rains, you know. And I know because I stay in Taiping for 18 months. Yeah, I stay in Taiping for 18 months. I wonder why every day rain one.
Kamunting University.
Yeah, like Taiping, so lah sama. So I stay in Taiping for 18 months. I wonder why it rains every day. And I know this is the wettest town in Malaysia. And now the wettest town in Malaysia, you do water rationing. So, as a responsible government, when you see this type of climate change, what are you going to do? Are you going to think of our future? Are you going to think of the need to avoid water rationing because the circumstances have changed? Or what I had said earlier, that we are very proud, we did not increase water rates. We are very proud, we did not increase assessment. We are very proud, we did not increase quick rent. We are very proud, we did not increase business license fees. Yes, we are very proud, we did not do all that. But now when you are faced with this type of situation, and the water consumption has gone up to 311 liters, are you still not going to do anything? I cannot do that. This is a climate crisis that we are facing, and I think it is our duty as a responsible state government to do something to avoid water rationing. We are willing to face criticism, but this changed because the climate has changed. No one expected Selangor to do water rationing. No one expected Johor to do water rationing. And I think everyone, including myself and Jasini, never expected Taiping today to do water rationing. Today, Taiping has water rationing. No, if you suffer water rationing, just imagine how difficult it is. If you don't know how difficult it is, try going to Selangor, and you know how difficult it is. Yes, Sangeeta?
Two questions. One, you're talking about climate change. Is there in future perhaps the PBA might want to think about setting up a desalination plant to extract water from the sea?
No, but that one is very, very expensive.
Okay.
So we have other water sources, but we have to get our act together. We have got our act together in terms of water supply management. We must get our water demand management in order also. We must get our act together. We are trying for Sungai Krian, which is what we requested. They rejected us. One of the reasons is your water consumption too high. So this is one of the reasons we see that. No? They rejected us. So now we are trying to deal with the problem urgently because we need another water source, which is Sungai Krian. And I think that is important. Second question, wait, Bobby. Come on. Yeah, second question.
Okay, second question, okay, the issue about back to climate change again. I mean, there are some reports or complaints actually that the water catchment area in Mengkuang Dam has been cleared. I mean, I don't know.
No,
how
there's
to say this, but
expansion.
I'm just asking.
No, that one is expansion. So this expansion, I actually checked with Jasini, and he has covered the report, and that report is untrue, because this is an expansion of the dam by the federal government, where we are going to triple the capacity. So it is not an issue, it is actually an expansion of the dam project.
Is that in any way going to affect the catchment? Obviously,
No, it's only widening only. The water catchment is the hills and all that, that's not affected, it's only the immediate area. You are widening, you are expanding it for 3 times the capacity. Yes, Bobby.
There are plans to get water from the Kenaikan, is it?
Yes, in the letter.
But this is probably trivial to the whole water lack thing. But you know, the expired time
So trivial to what?
probably trivial to lack water and all that. But there's firefly colonies there. Wouldn't that be affected if you also water from Kenaikan?
Sungai Krian is in Perak, no, not in Penang.
Not this Korean Perak.
This is Perak, it's not Penang. That's why we are going to pay Perak. This is not Penang side. Penang side, we will not have this problem. But because it's Perak side, we got to transfer water from Sungai Krian to Perak to come over to Sungai Perak, Sungai Krian to come over. So it's not in Penang, it's in Perak. We're going to pay Perak for the raw water. Yeah, anything else?
Like Sungai Muda that flows through the that flows
No, Sungai Muda, it flows through the state. This one doesn't flow through the state. So we have to pay, it's fair lah. It's fair, we'll pay. Okay, Justini, you want to have the last word?
The second question you asked about the Mengkuang Dam, we experienced the same thing when we built the Telok Bahang Dam. You have to sacrifice when you build a dam. You have to remove the trees before you allow the water to fill up the dam, because if not, the rotten trees will affect the quality of the water. But more different is that the Mengkuang Dam is a strategic pump storage dam. That means Mengkuang Dam actually do not have a catchment. It is a big pond to keep water from Sungai Muda. Okay? It's not like another dam where it has a catchment. So that's why it's called a pump storage dam. All the water that is going to fill up the Mengkuang Dam is pumped from Sungai Muda. So the water is not from the catchment. It does not have a catchment actually. Yeah? Yeah?